Okay, this is attempt number 6 of this video because I keep getting interrupted. 6 hand size, 25 vitality, air, order, water. Each ability is only playable once per turn, once during yours, once during your opponent's. Remember that because it's important. You destroy one foundation. Your opponent must play a non-attack card as their next form this turn or pass. E, destroy foundation at the top card of your deck, your momentum. And then E, if you have 6 of your foundations, ready up to 3 of them. Okay, let's go over each ability in and of itself. We're going to start at the bottom. Okay, if you have 6 or fewer foundations, you can ready up to 3 of them. So benefits of this, okay? 1, in the early game, when, let's say, you have 3 foundations, your opponent has 3 foundations, it allows you to operate at a far higher functional foundation count because you can play an attack, commit out to it, ready them, and then continue building, right? You can do that kind of junk. Then on your opponent's turn, if they try to push back into you, you, again, can commit stuff to block, ready them, and then commit them again, okay? Early game value. It gives you leverage in the early, okay? Other thing it can do, it can ready 3 foundations. So you don't want to just use it to mitigate the fact that you have to run 6 or fewer to get the effect. What you want to do is you want to utilize commit as cost effects, whether they be form responses, whatever. Especially considering his first E is a defensive ability. If you're running commit costs that reduce speed, negate damage, reduce damage, reset stats, whatever, then you can be using those during your opponent's turn. Then you destroy something so that they have to play a non-attack card. And if they do play another attack card, you can ready those effects and then use them again on the next attack. Or you can just keep negating stuff, right? It's recycling strong effects that's really going to make that enhance shine. Okay, just remember that. Getting onto his other effects. E, destroy a foundation at the top card of your deck, your momentum. That's great. Obviously, it's good if you can control what the top card of your deck is. If you have a method to do that. It's only once per turn, you're only getting 1 momentum per turn, and it's not the greatest. Lots of people can generate momentum. There's nothing special here. You destroy foundation, your opponent must play a non-attack card as their next form this turn or pass. There are ways to play around this, as I've found out by monkeying around against this deck. There's still cards like Hunt for Spiders and Dragons, where now instead of just playing it on my first attack, I play it on my second attack and wait for you to destroy something. And then I just play around it and you've, nuked part of your stage for free. Because it doesn't actually affect my game plan once I figure out how to play around that ability. Some decks can do it, some decks can't. Right? So just something to be mindful of. Other things you want to be mindful of is that don't feel like you can't build past 6. Okay? Especially, think about it this way. So rather than just build to 6 and then, or say you build to 7 or 8 or whatever you're going to build to, and then just, because what you can do is you can always commit your foundations to help you block stuff, then nuke them to your abilities, then ready anything that you commit past that point. And that's kind of how you want to do it. You don't want to stay at 6. You want to be constantly pushing past 6 and then pulling yourself down to 6. And then something that's going to help you do that is if you're running stuff in your deck that can also do destroy foundation as costs, it's going to let you push yourself further past 6 if you're expecting your opponent to attack into you, right? Because you can still utilize readying 3 as long as you have a way to knock yourself back down to 6 sometime during that turn, which shouldn't be too difficult. So think about that. Other thing you want to think about is that if you have any way to control the top card of your discard pile, like if you have ways to draw off the top, if you have ways to get benefits off the top card of your discard pile, the ability just to nuke a foundation in your staging area and put it into that position, that has value in and of itself. Don't forget that. Okay? So that's kind of how I feel about this guy. I don't love him personally. I do see the value and the strength in him. I don't think it's good enough, but I know he's got some fans out there. I know he does. And if you can really take advantage of those readying 3, it's going to be great. The problem is that, like, you, as a Raiden player, you kind of rely on that third enhance a little bit. And that's bad if they have a way to cancel it, because it has a heavy impact. It has a heavy impact on how you need to play the game as this character. Therefore, when it's negated, it hurts. It hurts a lot. So think about that as well. Maybe pack ways to protect it if you feel like it's going to be an issue. Maybe that's what your sideboard has, is ways to protect that enhance in case you run into players that can deal with it. or that can lock you down by canceling it. So those are just things to think about. All right. So that's how I feel about this guy. And until next time.